Hey guys, how's it going? I'm about to start this mentoring session with Mercebar real quick. So let me just get this link over to him and then get this room started up. 15. All right, looks like we're pretty much good to go. Let's immerse balls out real quick. See if there's any trades to take right now. So your odds about to drop in profit right here. It looks pretty good for the most part. It's it's making its way down. So it's over real quick. TP2 for about 25 pips. All right, so waiting for Merciful to show up, guys. I'm gonna have this mentoring session with him real quick. Here's our active trade right now. We have Euro odd. It's in profit right now, moving its way to TP2 right here for 25 pips. I'm also looking for some scalps right now as well. So, I mean, the daily entry is right here. I'm not sure if anyone caught it. It came, it didn't come during New York session, so obviously we wouldn't have taken it. But if you did take it right here, this would have been good. Hey, what's up, Si? How's it going, bro?
Yo, hey, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Just chilling, man. How are you?
Good. Just chilling, bro. Just got like a week off of work, so I'm like actually in between like transitioning. I was at a new job after my HVAC job.
Yeah.
And but it's too far. I was staying out in like a hotel and stuff, and like,
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was just too far, and it was just too far, just interfering with my schedule and my trading and like learning and like just the things that I've been trying to rev up to be able to take the FTMO test. So I didn't want to go anymore, and so I actually got a new job again.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to start today, but it started raining, so and then I'm not sure what happened. So we'd probably be starting like Thursday. So I was just focusing on my trading and catching up on some of the live streams that I wasn't able to really sit in on while I was at work the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I was wondering where you at, because you're like usually in every session. All of a sudden, like you kind of like went missing for a cool minute. I thought you like just took a break from trading and stuff, but I see you're like working at that other job.
Yeah. And I was still like in the live streams, but I wasn't really able to like be on the chat or like I would just listen in, and I would just kind of take the trade sometimes. And like last time, bro, like I because US 30 is like worth a little bit more. Like I was kind of trading mainly that, but my account wasn't too large to begin with. So I ended up over leveraging my account when I entered into some scalps and got margin called out, bro. So I kind of just made a decision that I'm not even going to trade an account that's smaller than $3,000 if it's going to be for like, indices. And
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it, bro. Because like sometimes you'll get margin called out, and then all of a sudden it hits TP, and you're like, damn, if you just like, if you had a little more money in the account, you could have survived it.
man, that happened to me, bro, like 3 or 4 different times, and I was just like, it sucked because I was like, it like literally retraced or reversed like right after it hit the stop loss. So I like took a few bad L's right there.
I mean, yeah, that always happens, bro. I mean, that's happened to me a lot of times. So like for me, I already know not to over leverage. It's like if I know I don't have enough money in the account, I'm just not gonna take the trade because that's the worst feeling, bro. It's the worst feeling. Like you hit your stop loss, and all of a sudden, a few seconds later, it goes straight to TP, and you're like, damn, it was one of
Bro.
those days, you know?
Exactly. Then it looks like you took a loss, but it actually should have been a win. But like, sometimes it happens to me with because of the spread though. Like it'd be just off by like a very few couple pips, and then like the spread will like just close me out. So I'm like, dang.
Yeah, they do that on purpose sometimes. Sometimes you'll see the spread it'll go from like 1 pip to like 5 pips for like a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, damn, how did that happen? So like for me, sometimes I keep I actually put my stop loss a little wider sometimes, like a few pips more, so that I
Yeah.
just cover the spread in case that happens. I mean, it usually happens for like unregulated brokers. So if you're using something like Hugo's Way or something like that, they're known for that stuff, because when you lose, usually what they do is they take over your position. Like if they know they're going to manipulate the price, what they'll
Yeah.
do is like say you're in a sell, they'll spike price out to stop you out, and then they'll take over your position, and then they'll just make money off your trade.
I see what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Kind of
And
sucks.
yeah, it happens all the time. I mean, I didn't think it was real until it happened to me like a couple times, and I was like, damn, this like really happens. Because people always talk about market manipulation, but a lot of people don't realize it's like the little things, bro. Like a lot of people think, oh, it's just like when price just ends up spiking up and down, right? But in reality, it's like the spread. Dude. The spread's like one of the biggest things that gets manipulated sometimes. Because like for unregulated brokers, they can set their own prices. Because what happens is they have like liquidity from like another pool. Like they get these like they trade off another market, but they have like their little market that they create like within that broker.
I see what you're saying. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Unregulated brokers, do they have like there's never any issues like there's no like legal issues with them or anything like that, is there?
No, not really, because that's why they're unregulated. Because what they do is they open their little broker like over like in like a small island in the middle of like the ocean where like nobody could like you can't really sue them for anything like that. Like if you claim that they're like manipulating price and stuff like that, they
Yeah.
you can't really like they can't go after them because they're like governed by that little island's like laws and like people from other countries can't just go over there and be like, oh, we're gonna sue this dude or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I use Hugo's. I've been using that for the longest.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you get what you pay for. Like with Hugo's Way, if you're using an unregulated broker, you could trade indices with like a little bit of money, right? But in reality, if you wanted to use like a real broker, like a regulated one, that you need like a couple thousand, maybe even like a couple tens of thousands if you're going to trade something like US 30, because they don't let you trade the indice. You got to trade the actual future. So it's like future contracts, not these little Forex pairs that we trade.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I made a demo account with because I was just like, man, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore, trading a demo or a live account with less than $3,000. It's just not really. I mean, it's you can grow it definitely. I've done it. Like you saw me grow that small account. Taking some of my own trades and taking a lot of the trades that you call. But
Yeah.
I wasn't even using good risk management. Like I literally like almost got margin called out a few times. But like it happened 3 times, and because it actually like came into profit after that, I was able to compound my account like 3 different times. So like it got like really big, like really quick.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thing with that is it works, but if you make one mistake, bro, that sets you back so far. Like it's like
Exactly.
impossible to get back, and it's like you kind of want to give up at that point, because you're like, I might as well just deposit more money because it'll be faster for you to get back to that point rather than have to like rebuild it up from there.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
it just happened too many times. I was like, man, I could have just paid for FTMO like a couple times already. Like I should just gone with that.
yeah.
But
That's the way that I saw it too. Because like for the 100K count, it's like 600 something, and I'm like, I'm already risking 600 something per trade. I was like, it's a no brainer. Just do FTMO, pass it, and then be good from there. And then if you fail, it doesn't matter because you can just do it again. It's not a big deal. You lost out on like $600. But once you pass it, you get refunded. So you technically didn't lose anything. It's just
exactly.
time. It's really just time. That's what a lot of people don't realize. And it's not that long either. It's like 20 days because you could do the challenge in 10 days, and then you can do the verification in 10 days as well. So I mean, what's 20 days to you really, 20 days to make some money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I started this this $3,000 demo account I'm talking about with Hugo's Way. I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago, or it was 2 weeks ago. And And I was using actual trades that like, I was using proper risk management. Actually, I actually went a little crazy one time and I used a way bigger lot size than I should have. I used a 0.50 lot.
Yeah.
And that actually helped. But I was very confident in the trade that I was taking because, I kind of know a little bit more about what I'm doing now.
Hmm.
Join all these live sessions, checking out that new strategy too, bro. That's legit.
Yeah, have you
So
been using it? It's been hitting, bro.
yeah, dude,
It's been crazy,
fire.
man. Like
It's,
nonstop.
yeah, I
That's like
caught.
the only thing I've been using now. Like, I mean, I still trade Forex on the 4 hour, but bro, the 4 hour takes forever, man. Sometimes like I don't want to be holding a trade for like 3, 4 days. I just want to
Yeah,
get in and out. I don't care if I win or I lose. I want to just get in and out because it's cool with the scalping because you could get in and out so quick where you could get into like 5, 10 trades a day, and majority of those trades are going to be wins. So it's like I'd rather roll the dice and like try to get my wins up on that than having to like depend on one trade. And then if that flops, it's like, man, wasted
exactly.
4 days right there.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. So I actually started doing this one thing where like I'll enter into a because I like trading indices better, especially
Mhm.
US 30 and I like Nas 100.
Yeah.
Um, but on the currencies, what I started doing is I enter into into a trade of like a trial trade, and I'll enter into like with the 0.01 lot, and I'll hold it, and I won't even set a stop loss or a take profit, but I'll mark up my chart, and then and I leave it running. And if I get the trade wrong, what I'll do is I'll hold it until, because I'm using the smallest lot size, it's not a big amount. So I'll hold it until the trade is going to reverse and I can see it on my active trades page.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
and then I enter into the actual trade with a bigger lot, and then like a lot that I actually want to use, and then that way it'll make up for the loss. And as the trade actually goes into profit with the new trade with the actual lot, I'll the previous trade with the trial lot will just so it won't be as much of a negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's funny that you mentioned that because like when I first started trading, I used to for some reason, bro, I could call losing trades out of nowhere, bro. I know what trades are gonna lose. So what I would do is I would take a trade like a really small lot, so it's like a penny lot. I would take it in the direction I thought it was gonna go, and then when it reverses on me, I take the actual trade on that one, and I make some money off that trade. So I would do the opposite of what I was like thinking was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's
Heck yeah.
kind of it's kind of similar to what you're doing. You take a little test lot. If it plays out, you just add on your real lot size.
Exactly.
And it's kind of the same what I was doing, except I was doing the opposite. Like I would take a trade, and then if it goes opposite of me, I'm like, all right, I'll double up on this one, and I'll take it the opposite way.
Yeah, exactly. Cause I don't so like I've been using a MetaTrader
Yeah,
since I started trading, and like I don't have a computer yet, so I like TradingView, and I like seeing you and like all the tools that you can use on there. It just looks a lot cleaner and better and like more like upgraded than MetaTrader. But
hmm,
I have to use a separate app to like set up notifications for the pairs and or whatever.
yeah,
Um but sometimes it's just like it's too much having to like manually enter it on your phone and things like that. So I just watch it there on the with that little trial lot size, and that helps a lot.
yeah, yeah. No, it helps because you know what you're looking at, like because it shows on your chart, like if you're in positive, negative, so you know exactly if it's working or not. And
Exactly.
it keeps you on track to follow it. Because I get what you're saying. Because that was kind of how it was before too. Because I used to use a different app when I used to trade. I used to use Thinkorswim, and it was confusing. It was like way different, like setting up alerts and just like entering trades and stuff like that. And once I figured out Trading View, I was like, man, this is a game changer. So like that's why I use Trading View just for like my charting and for looking for trades. But I just use MT4 just to enter to execute the trades basically.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping like FTMO ends up like merging with like trading view so we can just trade directly on here. Because bro, if we could trade directly on here, it'd make things so much easier. Like just click to trade, instead of going on a different app or going on my phone.
Yeah.
It's just a hassle, man. It's like it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So on FTMO, so you can only use MetaTrader on FTMO. You can't use TradingView.
No, you can't. There's this one other app called C Trader. I think that's
Okay.
what it's called. There's like two options. It's like MetaTrader and C Trader.
Mm,
Um, I just use MT4 because when I first started using FTMO a long time ago, like last year, they only had MT4. So I already got familiar with it. So that's why I'm just using that now. I've seen a lot of people use C Trader and they said it's pretty good, but I
mm,
mean, I haven't really looked into it yet.
yeah.
Um, And I'm also on a Mac, so it's different. It's different for me to really go from platform to platform because not everything works on the Mac.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah. I like iPhones better than Androids. So when I get a computer, I was planning to get a Mac too.
Yeah, the
Um,
Macs are cool. I mean, like I don't have any problems with it. There's not like any lag or anything. It's a solid computer and it lasts for a long time. Because before I got this Mac that I'm using now, I had my last one I had it for like 12 years and I had no issues. Like it was perfect.
nice, nice. And you have a desktop, huh?
Yeah, I used to use a laptop, and then the problem with the laptop is that that thing overheats because it doesn't have like a good fan inside of it. So that's why
Oh,
I had a because you know I'm a streaming plus I'm trading. Like I'm doing a lot of stuff on the computer, so I can't. I gotta have like a good system that can run everything at once. That's why I
right.
had to upgrade to the desktop. But I was using the laptop before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. No,
It,
that
it just
makes
depends. It depends on what you're doing, you know. Because if you're doing like video editing and then you're over here live streaming and then you're doing trading and you're also on your messenger and stuff like that, you need
yeah,
something that can handle it. But if you're just trading, a laptop's fine too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, you know what I kind of got going on, bro. I've actually been talking to somebody about like because my barber wants to learn, and like he started created a sticker, and when I was like he's only 17, but he's been cutting hair for a long time already,
Yeah.
and he's really good. So I only go with him now, and we it's I've only known him for about a year, but anyways, he created this sticker and it was really cool, and I liked it, and I was like, I asked him if he had any plans with it, and he said he actually wanted to drop merch, or he was thinking about it, and so I told him, I'd buy it like his first thing and like kind of just promote it and like kind of just help him out, and like because he wants to learn about trading, and
Yeah.
he wants to do FTMO too. So I was just like, yeah, that's cool. And like one of my friends, like I've been talking to him about trading for 2 years since I started, and for like a year he kind of blew me off. Like he would listen to me, but he didn't really take an interest until like just actually like about a year now. The
Yeah.
second the second year that I've known now, and like now he's starting to learn trading, and he actually wants to like he's actually kind of being a little profitable too, so he actually wants to take FTMO too. So I was just like I need to get a Mac too, bro, so I can do the video editing and all that crap as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, yeah, it's good if I mean, you can pretty much do anything on it. I mean, the main thing that you can't really do on it is like play video games, but I don't think you're really into video games anyways, right?
nah,
Yeah.
nah.
So it wouldn't really matter to you if you're just trying to do work. I like this is my work computer. I just do work on this.
Yeah,
And the only downside is that you can't play video games, but it don't matter to me because I don't really play games like that.
yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, bro. So I think I'm like actually ready for my FTMO too now, bro. Like, I mean, I'm still like honestly, bro, I'm still gonna be kind of broke, but I don't really care because like I'll bounce back next week or whatever, and like I got everything taken care of, bill wise and whatnot, um, and like oh yeah, like I was saying, bro, I got this demo account with $3,000 that I started, and like I was taking because after I took this break, bro, from trading, like it really kind of helped on my trading
It
psychology.
was. Yeah,
I took a
exactly.
bunch of losses, yeah, and it kind of messed with me. So I was just like, got a lot going on. So I just took a break, and then I just started a demo, and I was just like, man, I'm just not gonna think about it as much. I'm just like gonna go with my gut feeling because a lot of times I mark up the chart, but I don't even enter the trade because I'm like thinking, man, I'm gonna lose, and then next thing you know, like I would hit full TP. So I'm like, dang, like I should have just took that trade when I thought about it. And so I did this demo account with 3,000 in 2 weeks, bro. I made it turn into like over six. It's at 6,500 right now.
Damn, bro. That's
Yeah,
great, man. You flipped that easy. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it really is, bro. Like with trading is like even these strategies that I teach you and I teach everyone else. Like the real thing about it is it's all trade psychology. Because the thing is, the strategy works. You guys see that it works because I go over it every single day. And the real thing is just just not being scared. Like if you see the entry, you just take the entry and then let it run. If it loses, it's cool because you understand that it loses sometimes, but most times it's gonna win. So as long as you take trades and you're not too scared and you just take them as they are, you'll be
yeah,
pretty much fine. Because that's how I am. Like you'll see me during live sessions. Like I don't even think about it. I'll be like, oh, there's a scalp right there, and I'll take the trade, and I don't even think twice. I just take it right away. And then if I lose, I'm like, oh well, it's cool. On to the next one. If I win, it's like, all right, cool, on to the next one as well.
yeah,
But yeah, it's all really about trade psychology, bro. Trade psychology and being consistent. That's the
yeah,
main thing.
definitely.
Yeah. So do you have any questions about the new scalp strategy, or are you pretty good for the most part?
Oh, actually, yeah, bro. Actually, so I didn't want to have you like have to go over it like countless times, numerous, like over and over and over again. But I was watching, the videos of like when you were first mentioning it back in like, I believe it was like January 27th, 26th, 27th, 28th. And like, there's a couple in February. I had written down in my notes. Let me see. So I was actually rewatching those live streams, but yeah, bro. I mean, if you could just like, just kind of like really quickly, just kind of like, do like a quick overview rundown, just for like,
Oh yeah,
case
bro.
like, and I mean, I'm gonna rewatch all this stuff anyways, but I really just wanted to like get it locked in.
Yeah, no, of course, bro. So I'll show you like breakdown. So there's an entry right here, but I'll put the requirements right here just so you can see. So this is a K2 snipe strategy or US 30 on the 10-minute time frame. So first you just want to confirm a wick rejection off K2 pivot, which could be any pivot. The next one's going to be confirm wick rejection off K2 SR zone. And then lastly, you want to confirm wick rejection off K2 pivot, not touch the candle body. So that's pretty much it. After that, you can enter on the open of the following candle. And then lastly, TP stop loss at 500 pips. Okay. So that's pretty much, I mean, it's super simple. Like literally right here, if you were to look at this, I mean, there's actually 2 entries right here. I could even back up, or I could just leave it there anyways. So you can see right here that we have the wick rejection off this red pivot right here, right?
Man, dude, I was gonna enter into that earlier, bro, and I missed it.
Oh, this morning?
Yeah.
I wanted to, but this happened like right. Usually on the market open, I avoid that trade because the market, like price just gets kind of crazy right when the market opens. But today was a holiday, so it didn't really move as crazy as it normally does. Usually it'll spike up, it'll spike down. But today the U.S. market was closed because of President's Day.
Oh, you rewinded. My bad, bro. You rewinded. That's from this morning. No, I took that trade. I thought that was the one after New York session closed.
Oh yeah, no. I think there was one that happened. We'll go forward and we'll look at that one. But yeah, this was this morning. I just rewinded back to this morning when the market first opened, and this one right here. So there was actually 2 entries. There was this green candle right here because it rejected off this pivot, and then this one right here too. It rejected off this red pivot as well. So that's the first requirement. You just need a wick rejection off the pivot. Once you have that, you just confirm a wick rejection off the K2 SR zone. So like right here, obviously I have the zone drawn up. So this would have been the zone right here. Once you have those lined up, you just make sure that this pivot isn't touching the body. And obviously right here, it's way down here. So it's not touching the body. And once you have that, you can just enter on the open of the falling candle. So if you enter this one right here, that's where your entry would have been. Or if you enter the other one right here, maybe the same difference. It'd just be a little higher up here. Yeah. But either way, you would have taken one of these right here. And then after that, you pretty much just, let it rip. There you go. TP. Yeah. So it don't matter if you took this one, it would hit TP, or if you took this one right here, this would hit TP as well. So it just depends on which one if you missed the first one and you saw the second one, you could have just entered late, but it wouldn't really matter because either one would have still hit regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I entered. Yeah. I actually entered twice. Yeah.
You hit both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's trending like pretty heavy like this, like if the pivots are super spread out and they're all angling up, then that's where you can, you'll be more confident about taking a buy versus if it's choppy, like down here, this is too choppy. It's not something I would mess with when it's kind of going over, because you can see that it's not clear. You want something that's super clear, so you don't really, there's like no guesswork. Like literally, if it comes back up, you're like, all right, it's gonna have to come up eventually.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I think we took this one too. So I actually took this trade as well. Or actually, I think I took this one over here. So I didn't take that one, but I took this because there was a couple more. Because like I mentioned, I don't usually take the trade when the market opens, but then there was like 3 more right here for this red, green, and green one right here. And this other red one. So there's 4 entries right there, actually. There was 3 entries right here. And then there was another one right here. So if you took any of these right here, you would have, hit TP on all of them. Like the first one right here, this would hit TP. This one right here would hit TP. This red one right here would hit TP. This green one, and also this red one over here. So there was a ton of opportunities this morning. Unfortunately, I only took one because I was kind of worried with the holiday. I wasn't sure if price was going to move crazy or not. Right. But it played out. So it worked out for us this morning. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's real simple. I try to make it as simple as possible because I don't want people to get confused.
Right.
And I think there was another one you mentioned over here, right? Okay, so
Yeah, right there.
this one right here, right, when the market closed or when it
Yeah,
reopened, I guess.
yeah.
So I probably wouldn't have taken that one because it didn't touch the zone.
Mhm.
But like I mentioned before, the zone is just secondary. The main rejection is going to be off the pivot right here. So if this happens, I mean, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Because this is how I used to trade it. But then what happened was I would eat some losses. Like you can see here, if you just take the rejections off the pivots, it still works sometimes. It doesn't. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Like right here, it doesn't reject off the structure, but it pushes up still. And like same with this one right here, it doesn't reject off the structure, but it still pushes off pretty nice.
I see what you're
So
saying. Yeah.
so this is how I used to trade it. But then when I started eating some losses, when I used to scalp this like on my own before I showed you guys, I tried
Yeah.
to figure out a way to make it better, right? Because obviously we're trying to improve it. And that's where I added the zones because I figured, oh, when you have that double rejection, it's even a safer trade versus just having the rejection off the pivot. But
Yeah.
like you said, if you took this trade here, I mean, this still would have hit even if you didn't have the full requirements there.
Yeah. It's like basically like two strategies in one, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's like a double confirmation. So it's it's pretty much the same thing. It's just I'm just trying to have that extra confirmation. But in reality, you don't really need it. I mean, you don't need it 100% because it still hits. Like even if you took these trades over here,
Yeah.
it just becomes a little risky.
Okay. And okay. And no, yeah, that makes sense. And can we look at one example, bro? With a short position entry instead of a long one?
Yeah, sure, bro. Definitely. Let me pull it up on this side. Let me just copy this over. Or actually, we can just pull it over here. Let me see if I can see a short entry somewhere. Actually, let me go on a clean chart. It's probably easier. So
Okay.
got US 30 right here.
And these are all indicators that you can because I have these indicators, bro, but I actually don't I don't know how to turn on the pivot one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just go to here. So if I take it off the chart right here, so we take the pivots off, you just go to indicators right here, go to invite only scripts right here, and then click on K2 pivots.
Oh, okay.
And there you go. Get on your chart.
And it always gives you the three?
It gives you four. So you got the red, orange, green, and yellow.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Okay.
four pivots. Yeah, there's four pivots. There's four levels. So the green one's the first level, yellow is the second level, orange is the third level, and red is the fourth level. So when it gets to that fourth level, that's where it's kind of like it gets kind of risky because it might be reversing on you.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And there's another indicator you have as well. I think it's like a MACD, right?
Not which one are you talking about? We have the trend meter down here. I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about. The trend meter.
No, not the trend meter. No. Here, let me pull up my trading view real quick so I can look at it. I think it's unless I have like the wrong one, but I think it's like
Yeah, because we have the K2SR, the K2SR version 2, the trend meter, and the K2 momentum indicator that shows you momentum in the market. So there's one, two, three, four, five indicators that are available.
okay. Yeah, it's this. Okay, then I don't know if I have the wrong one. Because I'm only on that. I'm on that. It's like it says MACD strategy.
Oh yeah, I think that's just something else.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's not even K2. Oh, dang, I've been using the wrong indicator this whole time. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, and because it's only. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
yeah. For this specific strategy, we only use two indicators. We use the pivots and we use the K2SR, so we get the zones. That's pretty much it. There's not really much else that we use for it. But here, let me pull up a short position because that's what you wanted to see. So we got let's draw the zone right here.
And that one is that's like the support and resistance zones that you're marking up right now as well, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The version 2 just it marks up all of the strongest support resistance zones for you. So it just automatically plots it as price goes on. So it just keeps updating. Like as price goes along, you'll see the
Okay.
zones right here just update as you continue to move the price. So you can see they kind of disappear. Once you get too far from a certain area, it'll disappear and it'll create new ones.
Okay. Cool.
Because it just tries to figure out what's the best rejection points where you can like identify where it's gonna be bouncing off from.
That's what you're saying. So it looks like there's actually an entry right there, right? Right.
This one right here, yeah. So I was gonna rewind to that point because you
Okay.
wanted to see a sell, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, for a sell right here, this is pretty much the same thing, same requirements. You know, we have the rejection off the pivot, we have the rejection off the structure right here. With that said, right there, you know, that's requirement number one. This green candle right here rejects off this green pivot and this yellow pivot actually. Second one is it rejects off the K2SR zone, which would be this pink area right here. So those are the two requirements. And then the third requirement is you just want to make sure that the pivot that it's rejecting off doesn't touch the body of the candle. So right here, the farthest pivot would be this yellow one right here. Can you see on the screen right here where it touches this wick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right there, it's touching that yellow pivot. So that's the one that's important. That you could ignore everything else. Like you just want to figure out which one is it rejecting off, which would be this yellow one. And then you can ignore green, red, and yellow. Green, red, and orange. You just got to focus on that yellow one. So like what I would do here sometimes is I would just take everything else off.
Okay.
So you're not really focused on the other colors, right?
Yeah. The green one is more mainly like a kind of like a this is a possible kind of thing, right?
Well, they go to levels. So like usually the middle ones are going to be the stronger levels. The green one's going to be the weakest because that one gets tested all the time. You can see here that it tested like a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
As it keeps coming around. Once you get to the yellow one, it's like once you get farther down the levels, it's a stronger rejection. So like right here, we have these little rejections off this green candle or this green pivot. It just rejects off it comes back up, rejects off, it comes back up. You have a rejection off this yellow one and it shoots up even heavier. And then right here, you see this one rejects off the red one and it just shoots up all the way up.
Okay. So right here, back to the left. If you scroll to the left a little bit more, right here where it touches the yellow one on the very left side of the screen.
This one right here.
A little bit more to the right. A little bit more, right there. Down on that, right there.
This one right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have qualified for a buy entry, right?
No, because there would have to be a zone down here. Yeah, because you need the pivot and the zone rejection. So like right here, we have the pivot rejection and the zone rejection.
Okay.
So actually, let me turn this on. Yeah, there's no zone here. So like the zone's down here and there's a zone up here, but there's no zone in this area right here. Or maybe there was. Let me just rewind it to that area.
Yeah, I was gonna be on my next question. If you like go like further back type and like there happens to be like a zone there, it would qualify, right?
Exactly, yeah. But I just rewinded right here. I think the closest zone would be down here. So it's still kind of far off from where price currently was. There was actually a zone right above it right here, but it's not rejecting off that bottom area.
Okay.
So it wouldn't fall under. So I mean, technically, if there was a zone that's like, say for example, if there was a zone right there like that, then yeah, that would be an entry. But since there's no zone right there, then there's no entry at that point.
Okay.
But there's an entry right here though, if you're looking at these, because you can see that these reject off the pivot and it rejects off the zone. So if you were to take any of these trades right here, I mean, all of these would have hit TP as well, 50 pips. Right there. Yeah, and then one thing too is if you end up eating a loss, which happens, it's going to happen from time to time. If you eat a loss, then just move on to the next one. So for like example right here, like there's a buy entry right here, right? If you were to take this trade right here, and then you ended up losing right here, it's all good. You just avoid, don't take any more buys. If that happens, you just wait for it to swing below, and then you take sells, and that's how the strategy kind of plays itself out. Because if you take a loss here, it's all good because you take the next trade down here, and then you end up taking a win.
Yeah.
Off there, so you just cover that loss. So you have a loss there, you have a win right here. And then you just keep going on. And then, usually like when you hit those hot streaks where they just keep hitting, like right here. So you had a loss right here, you had a win right here, and then it swings back up over here. You got another trade right here for a buy. So if you were to take this, let me see. Yeah, this one right here for about 500 pips. Another win right there, right? So you got one win, one loss, you got break even. You have another win right here. You're now in profit.
Nice.
And then you just keep rinse and repeat, bro. It's the same thing over and over again. It's just it was like I was mentioning earlier, it's repetition and just staying on point with the strategy. Like you can't get like bummed out about like having one loss here. Because if you were bummed out about this trade right here and you missed this one because you're like, oh man, I'm gonna take a break from trading because I took this loss right here. You would have missed it on this win, and then you would have missed it on this one right here. So like the main key is just to keep emotions out of trading. You got to trade like a robot, bro. You got to trade like nothing affects you. It's like, all right, you take a hit here and there, but you're gonna bounce back. Like you have to be optimistic and positive. Like you got to think positive, like, oh, I took a loss there, but it's all good because I'm going to make it back on the next one. Because like, just like I showed you right here, if you were too stuck on this position here on losing, you would have
Yeah.
missed this one, and then you would have missed this one. Even if you missed this one, say you took this trade and you're like, all right, I'm gonna take a break for like 30 minutes. You're like, all right, you missed it on this trade, but it's all good because as it swung over here, you would have took a win on this, and then you would have, covered this loss over here. So you still would have been in profit, or you would have been at break even.
Mm.
So I mean, that's just how the game works. But a lot of people they don't have that mindset. Like even myself, when I first started trading, when I took a loss, I would take a break. I'd be like, man, I'd be so mad. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
trading no more. And then,
Yeah.
and then you look back at the chart and you're like, damn, I took that break. And then during that whole time where I took that break, I had like all these wins I could have made up for that loss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to get more upset when I like enter into a trade and like, and I don't set a, because sometimes I won't enter the stop loss or the take profit until like, I won't enter it right away, which I know is not really the best thing. But most of the time I'm actively managing all of my trades anyways.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. But I get more upset when I'm like in profit on a trade and I set a take profit and I close it out either before it hits take profit or I won't have a take profit set, but I close out the position manually instead of just setting a stop loss in profit. So and then I see it like shoot up and I could have made more money. And I'm just like, dang, I should have held the trade for a little bit or at least set a stop loss in profit. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. That's usually what I do when I'm taking a trade, I'll move it in profit rather than close manually, unless like say like I'm gonna go to sleep, right? Then I'll take it off and I'll manually close it. But if I'm like manually watching the trade, then I would just move my stop loss in profit rather than just closing it. Cause like you said, that's the worst feeling, bro. When you end up closing, like you close it at like TP1 and then a second later, dude, it shoots a full TP and you're like, damn, I should just move my stop loss in profit rather than closing it out.
man, for real.
Yeah.
That happened earlier on that Nasdaq, on that Nas.
Oh, this morning?
Yeah. Yeah, I closed it out. And it like literally right after like 2 seconds, it like shot up. I was like,
For
dang.
TP, yeah, that's crazy. That was a risky trade though, because I was looking at that and I really wanted to enter it, but I kept seeing it come down to entry, and I was like, this looks too risky, bro. And I take another look like a few minutes later, and it hits
Yeah.
full TP, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have just entered that trade, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
Like just like even just a couple little piece of the pie. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, it gets the best of you. That's why, like, whenever I talk to people, it's like I tell them to find an exit strategy and just follow it. Like if you're just trying to go to for TP1, then just do that every single time. Don't go from like switching it up every time because you'll never be consistent that way. Like say like for like one trade, you move your stop loss and profit. Then the next trade, you don't do that, and then it ends up losing. And then you're just like you go into this whole spiral where you keep making the bad decision after bad decision
Yeah,
until you just end up giving up at that point.
exactly. Like you could have at least got stopped out in profit and made at least some money that you should have made instead of taking a loss.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, like, sometimes you got to learn how to take money off the table, bro. Because a lot of people just leave the money sitting there. And then you turn around, you come back 5 minutes later and it's a negative. And you're like, damn, I just threw away like $200 in profit when I could have just closed it out or moved the stop loss in profit at least.
Yeah, bro. That's how you know when you're not really trading like professionally or a little bit more like how would you say logically and like you're kind of trading a little bit more emotionally because you're like you're in profit and you're just kind of like trying to be greedy and you like want it to go more but you're like not really paying attention to everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the market could change in a few seconds, bro. Like it could be going your way. And then a few seconds later, it goes complete opposite.
Yeah.
So that's why I always mention, like, whenever you're trading, you got to have a trading plan and you got to stick to it every single time. Like, don't change anything. And just make sure that it works. As long as it works, you're completely fine. It doesn't really matter if you take a couple losses because you already know that it's going to bounce back at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of which, bro, with FTMO, can you hold trades overnight or no?
Yeah, you can hold trades overnight. You just can't hold trades over the weekend, but that's only once you're funded. So I mean, you should already develop the habit now, not holding trades over the weekend, because once you're funded, you want to be trading the same way you were trading before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on a funded account, you can't trade over the weekend, and you can't trade when the market's closed more than 4 hours. Like today was a holiday, so the indices market closed at 10 a.m. our time, and it was the swap doesn't reopen until 4 p.m. So that's more than 4 hours because 10 to 4, that's 6 hours right there.
Yeah.
So on a funded account, you can't hold trades when the market's closed more than 4 hours. That's why normally for holidays, I just stay out of the market. Today I took a trade because it was early. It was like 6 a.m. So I was like, oh, I could get out of this trade before 10. And that's
Yeah.
what I did.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, you can hold trades overnight. It's just you just want to be careful because when you hold trades into London session, that's when the
mm,
market gets kind of crazy. Like you'll see it moving super slow during Asia session, and then all of a sudden you just see some crazy spikes as soon as we enter London session and whatnot.
yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. And so well, and then another thing I want to ask you, bro, for FTMO, because I know that like I realized that there's like different like they have the different symbols, like the different acronyms for like the same like US 30, it's different on FTMO, right? Like it's not
Uh,
US, different number or something.
yeah, no, it's US30.cash. It's just they just changed a little bit of it. It used to be WS30, but they changed it to US30 now.
So I'm gonna write this down. So US 30 is US 30.cash. Easy, right?
Yeah, US30.cash. Let me see the other ones.
US 30.
Uh, yeah, US30.cash. If you want to trade NASDAQ, it's US100.cash. I mean, you could see just by the numbers, because obviously for US30, you see US100. That's for NASDAQ.
Uh,
US500 is S&P. UK100 is still the same. It's pretty much the same thing. They just added .cash to the end of it
okay.
for the most part.
Okay. Okay. And then you said SPX was which one?
US500.cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just because it's a U.S. asset, so it's just U.S. and then it says 500 for the 500, stock index for S&P
yeah.
500, and then the same for Nasdaq because Nasdaq is a U.S. asset as well, so it's just called U.S. 100 because it's 100. It's
Right.
the 100 index right there.
Okay. And then it's US 500.cash. Okay.
Yeah, and I think those are the only ones you trade, right? I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah. No, I don't really trade anything else, bro. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then gold is, I think it's the same thing. It's just XAU USD. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I don't really like trading gold anymore, bro.
More.
So
Gold
yeah.
messes with you, bro.
Heck,
It's not something to play with.
heck no.
Yeah, that's why I just stick to US 30, bro. Because I know US 30, I know how it moves, inside and out. Because I've been trading for so long now that there's really no reason for me to go to anything else because I already know how this works.
Yeah, exactly.
I just stick
Uh
to it now.
exactly. So on FTMO, I'd only really plan to trade US 30 anyways, bro. And probably NAS 100.
Yeah.
But we spoke about this previously because I wanted to take my time on the FTMO. Like I mean, I realized like you can literally pass it within like the first part of the challenge in 5 days. If you're using proper risk management and you close off every day with 2% in profit in 5 days, you would have beat the
Oh, it's
challenge.
easy, bro. Yeah, it's easy. It's totally possible as long as you're like focused and you actually take trades like you don't fuck up on them and you take them how they're supposed to be taken. You
Yeah.
could be pretty solid because everyone takes a bunch of trades a day. I think what majority of people take like 5 to 10 trades a day, and like majority of those are wins. Like 70 or 80% of those are wins. They have like one or two losses here or there, and
Yeah.
then bro, if you do that every single day, if you're just focused, like say you're not doing shit all day, you're just on the computer all day watching the charts, you could pick a lot of entries off, especially if you're trading all three indices. If you're trading US 30, S&P, and NASDAQ, it's actually pretty easy for you to catch a few trades here and there. Because in reality, you don't need to win that many trades. You only need to win like for US 30, each trade is like $500, right? So you need 10,000 to pass. So you just
Yeah.
divide that by 500. You only need 20 wins, bro. In reality, that's not that many wins.
And
If
that
you Yeah, if you
and
do
those
five
are
a day, it's like easy.
but that's 500 because that was a 500. That means 500. You're talking about 500 pips. Is that like a daily entry? Is that the that's a is that a scalp?
It's a scalp. The daily
Oh,
entry is 1,500 pips.
oh, okay. So yeah, you can definitely do that in less than 5 days, probably, like you said, right?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
no, or actually, yeah, because yeah, you usually call a couple scalps along with the daily entry. So yeah,
Yeah, like if the daily entry hits and then you have scalps on top of that, but you're pretty much like halfway done already because you'll have like 1,500 from that daily entry, and then
yeah,
you add on the other scalps, and it just adds up from there. I mean, obviously, some days aren't you're not gonna have a perfect day every single day, so just keep that in mind. But just being just looking at it from this perspective, once you have a number in mind, like you're like, all right, I just need 20 scalps. That's all I need. It's really not that bad, because even if you were just taking like, say 3 trades a day, or you took like 3 scalps a day, you only needed like, let's see, 3 divided by 20, or sorry, 20 divided by 3. You only need about 6 or 7 days, 6.5 days for you to pass. If you're only taking 3 trades a day and you're winning all 3 trades.
Okay.
Or like, so for example, if you're trading like 5 trades, and then you win some and then you maybe lose 1 or 2, it's still going to be like around 10 days or so for you to pass, which is not that hard, and that's taking it conservatively. It's not trading all day.
Exactly. So that goes to the next part that I kind of wanted to bring up. So like, let's say for example, well, first of all, because you use a standard lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you use a standard lot, I mean, I plan to take your trades anyways, and so I'm a little bit more confident. Which I'm building up,
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah. Get in there. But so let's say for example, how many losses could you take before you, for example, fail the challenge?
Same number, 20 losses, but they got to be back-to-back losses. So,
Okay.
Odds of that happening are pretty unlikely. Like,
Yeah, not gonna happen.
most of the time, you make your trade back on the next trade, as long as you do it like how I mentioned. Like, for example, if you take a buy here and you lose, you don't take any more buys until it swings down. So it swings down to here, then you take these sells and you cover that trade there. Because usually, if you look at the market on the 10-minute, it just swings back and forth, bro. Like, it'll go from buy and then to sell, to buy, to sell. So as long as you're patient and you just wait for it to swing the other direction, you can catch it in the other direction, right? It's really not that difficult. It's more so it's all mindset. Because sometimes you'll, like, I already know, like, even for myself, you want a revenge trade, right? You'll take one trade, it loses, and then you're like, nah, man, that was like, that just you're like, the market was messing with me, so I'm gonna take it on the next one, and then you just have another loss because you just get greedy and you get stuck in that little cycle, where you're just like, in your head, you just feel like the market's against you, and you think that you just got unlucky. But in reality, that's how the market works. That it's a mind game. They want you to do that. They want you to think that you got screwed over that position, so that you keep entering, and then you end up losing more than you can bite off. But if you do it properly, because, for example, if you're waiting for this right here, you'd have to wait like another. See, so if you take this entry right here, you have to wait like at least an hour or two for you to start getting these other entries. So that's a big gap in between. Versus, like, say you take this one right here and then you take another one right there in the same direction, they both lose. And then it's not gonna end well,
Yeah, no, not a good start.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about patience and just trade psychology, bro. Like, if you just follow the rules that I mentioned, you should be good to go. And you gotta be focused on not passing so quickly. A lot of people just want to pass that Kimon like a day, just so they can say they passed it in a day. But then they get to verification and then they lose it. They lose it like right after, because they did the same risky thing they did for the challenge, and then it just ends up flopping. So, it's all about consistency, bro. Just think of a trading plan and just stick to it every single time.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's funny because I actually always, every time, I've been doing this for the past couple of weeks. I don't even know why, but every single time I'm like, I start the day, I usually always take a loss. The very first trade I take is usually always a loss. I don't know why, for like the past week. And then like the rest of the day, they're like all straight wins. I'm like, what the heck? Like, okay.
Yeah, bro, it happens. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain, right? It happens a lot, and I only know because it happens to me too. But it's really just controlling yourself, bro. Because, like, sometimes for me too, like you said, the first loss is usually a loss for me sometimes, and I already know the reason for that is because I take the trade when I'm not supposed to. Like how I mentioned over here, I don't take the trade when the market just opens at 6:30, because that's usually a risky trade. I usually wait like an hour later, 2 hours later, for me to take those, the next entry. Because that's why I stopped taking the trades at 6:30, because I realized that sometimes I get lucky and I win. And I realized that a lot of the times when I did lose, it was around that same exact time. So that's why sometimes it's kind of good to journal your trades. Like, whenever you take a trade, I mean, if you really want to get better, the best way to get better is to journal your trades. So every trade you take, I have, like, let me see if I can find my spreadsheet here. So I actually have a little spreadsheet that I use. Let's see, try. So I don't use it anymore, but when I first started trading, I used to use the spreadsheet all the time where I would document like all my trades, something like this. Like if I was to take a trade, I would document it. You know, I'd put if I took that trade at a win and I'm like, all right, this loses, and I take notes on them. I'm like, all right, why did I lose that trade? And I was like,
Mm,
okay, price was like ranging, and then it hit like 500 pips, then it reversed on me. So like from that point, I'm like, all right, what time did that trade hit a loss? And then you can
mm,
see here that they hit around the same time, 3:30 p.m., 3:20 p.m. Like, all right, maybe I shouldn't trade around 3 p.m. because maybe that's just a bad time to trade.
mm.
And that's something that you can use if you really want to learn. I mean, it's not necessary, but if you keep taking trades and you keep losing and you don't understand why you're losing,
Right.
that'll definitely help you understand. Because the thing with trading, bro, it's like solving a puzzle every day. You know, every day is different, but it's the same puzzle. You got to figure out like what's causing the price to move this direction, or like why did you lose that trade if you followed all the directions. There's always a solution to it, and there's a way to make yourself better. It's like playing a sport. You know, if you're playing a sport, there's always like some ways to improve, or like in anything you do, playing video games, playing sports.
Yeah.
There's a solution to everything, pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, this is definitely a cool sport.
Mhm. Yeah, bro, it's fun, man. And you make money off it, so it's all that
Heck yeah.
matters.
Um. Okay. So I got a question about so for the verification phase on the FTMO, is the requirements to pass the same thing? Like you have to make 5%, but max daily loss is also 5%, and total loss is also 10%.
Yeah, so your loss limits don't change for the verification. The only thing that changes is you get more time. So instead of 30 days, you get 60 days, and then
Oh,
you also get but you're not going to use those 60 days. Well, that's way too much time.
nah, it's only
You're
five
fine.
percent.
Yeah, and you only need to make half the profit. So instead of making 10,000, you only got to make 5,000. So
Yeah.
like once you get to verification, you should have like there should be no problem for you with passing, bro, because your profit goal is not that high,
Hmm.
and you have a lot of time. Like 60 days is a lot of time. You
Yeah.
know, like you said, you only need like 5 days or so to pass. The challenge, it should take less time to pass the verification, right?
Right. Now let's say, for example, I were to reduce the lot size that I use.
Mhm.
Would that not be a good idea?
No, it's fine. I mean, it'll just take you longer to pass, but
Mm.
so I mean, it goes both ways. So say for example, you're doing your challenge, and say like you just didn't trade for a week, you know, whatever reason you had work, you just didn't feel like trading, you just your head wasn't there. If that's the case, then you can oh, nice. Our TP just hit for euro odd. So for if you end up getting to like you have a week left on your challenge, and then you're like so far behind, bro, like you're not even going to get there anytime soon, you can increase the lot size. So it goes both ways. You can decrease it if you want to. It'll take longer. You can increase it if you want to pass it faster, but your risk goes up because you don't know if that week's going to be a good week or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it goes both ways. Like if you're running low on time, you can increase the lot size. If you want to take it really easy and you just don't want to you want to make sure you pass for sure, then you could lower the lot size because with the win rate for that scalp strategy, the win rate's pretty high. So it doesn't matter if you're taking a smaller lot size or a big lot size, it's just going
Yeah.
to increase and decrease your risk and increase or decrease the time it takes for you to pass.
Mm. I see what you're
Uh,
saying.
yeah, but a standard lot's fine. And
It,
just make sure that the standard lot is for a 100K account, right? Is that what you're doing or what you plan
yeah,
on doing?
I'm doing. Yeah, I want to do the 100K account. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because some people will do the 50K and they'll try to use the same lot size that I'm using, and I'm like, bro, you're over leveraging like crazy if you're doing that because
Yeah.
you have less a lower limit for your daily and max loss.
Yeah. No, I need that 300K, bro. I'm trying to quit my job, man.
No, I feel you, bro. Man, it's good, bro. It feels good once you have it. I remember when I first passed my first FTMO, bro, it was like such a relief, man. And then once I passed my second one, dude, it was like, damn, it's this easy. Like I was like, bro, why the fuck didn't I do this before? Because it's just I don't know, it's crazy. But honestly, for me, it's life changing, like literally, because
Absolutely.
because you don't have to risk any money, bro. Like when you take these trades, it's like you take the trades, and since it's not my account, I mean, it's not like my money. You really don't think about it. It was like how I mentioned, you got to trade like a robot. When you don't have any risk involved,
Yeah.
man, you can trade as robotic as you want, and you don't even care because it's like all right, if I lose, I lose. Cool, because I'm gonna make it back on the next one. And it's not
Exactly.
your money that you're losing. So it's kind of like you can really trade freely without worrying, you know? Because when it's your money, you're worrying, bro. You're like, damn, I lost 500 bucks, you know?
Yeah.
And it gets to you, it gets to your emotions.
For real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've already lost more money than like I could have just all the money I lost, I could have just used it to pay for the FTMO. And if I would have failed, I could have paid for it again. And
Exactly, right? Yeah. You think
yeah,
about it, like 600 seems like a lot of money, like at up front because you're paying for it. But if you think about your own, like your personal account, like, bro, you're losing that much anyways, you know?
exactly. And that's like the majority of my account because it's like not as large as, 100K. Like that's a lot.
Exactly. When you have 100K, you can make more money, like way more money than you be using a, like $100 account, right? Because you were using like $100 account. I was like, damn, how's dude like trading that account size, you know? But
Right.
you did grow it, bro. You grew it from like 100 to like I think like up to 300, right? When you're trading those Bitcoin and all that other stuff.
Yeah, bro. It was Bitcoin, bro, that really messed me up, dude. That spread is just ridiculous. And it's like it was just too it wasn't enough money. But yeah, it was like I started an account with it was like 200 one time. So I grew the account a couple times. Because I took a couple losses. But the first time I started with $270, or it was like 280, and I grew that to like it was like 1,000, and then I put another $300, so it was like around 1,400. And after that, that's when I like over leveraged with the scalps, and it took a while, but eventually the account was like pretty much back to where I started, and then I grew it back up again when I took a really huge win on Bitcoin, and then the same thing happened when I tried to compound it, and then it like dropped down to like $50, and then I grew it back up again, and then I took some stupid trades with Bitcoin that I knew I shouldn't have took, but yeah, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm done trading a small account. I'm just gonna save up for FTMO.
Yeah, bro. 'Cause when you think about it, like, I mean, that's where risk management becomes like really important because, you know, if you weren't taking those big lot sizes and you were over leveraging, you could have ate those losses and you could have bounced back, you know, eventually. But once you start taking like crazy lot sizes, that's when it starts to, you know, makes it kind of impossible for you to come back.
Exactly, and the main thing was with the scalps, because some of them weren't trades that you were calling. Some of these were trades that I was doing on my own, and I'm still learning, so I'd take losses too. And unfortunately I took a couple of my own losses, and then we had like a small losing streak on like a couple scalps, and I think it was like one daily entry, but I entered it twice, so I took like a really, like, it was like pretty much like that was like the worst day of my life, bro.
That happens, bro. I mean, it's happened to me before. I mean, it still happens to me sometimes, bro. Sometimes I just get too cocky, bro, when I'm trading. Because
Yeah.
like, you know, say you had a really good day on Monday, and then Tuesday you're like, all right, it's gonna be bomb this day too, and then it ends up doing the complete opposite. You're like, damn, I should have just stuck to my plan and
Yeah.
then done better. But I've gotten better. You know, obviously I don't trade like that anymore because like I really trade. I treat trading like a business, bro. Because obviously this is all I do. You know, I just trade, so I have to treat it like a business. Because if I lose too much money trading, it's like, man, I'm gonna be in the fucking hole, and I got to
Exactly.
pay bills, and I got, there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff I got to handle. So yeah, I mean, once you get more serious about your trading, you start treating it like an actual business, or like, you know, like your life depended on it. You know, it's gonna open up a lot of opportunity. You
Yeah.
just gotta like do or die, bro. You gotta have that mindset when you trade, so that you're more careful about your trades and you're not careless with it.
Shoot, I feel like, to be honest, bro, I feel like that's what actually one of the things that's kind of actually been helping me get a little bit better at trading. At one point, I had more money in my trading account than in my bank account, and I'm still not. Like this, like I feel like that's been making me better now too. That I'm like I'm really depending on getting better, so that because once I take FTMO after that first payout, like after once I hit that second month, like my income just jumped from like a huge amount, from like earning this much, like very little, to like now I'm like, okay, like I just made 10 racks in a month. Like I don't even need to work because, I don't even have that saved up in several months for my job.
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. And then, you know, once you pass your first account, you get funded, you have the option to get another challenge account. So that's what I did. I passed my first account, then I got the challenge account for the other one. And then I got my payout, plus I got the challenge account. So I was like, all right, cool. So I was making money off the first account. And then I was also working on the second FTMO. And then once I passed that, bro, it was just double profits every time. So it was like, you literally multiply your trading profits like after a month, right? Because it only takes like 20 days to pass. Once you pass that, you're pretty much good on another account.
Do you have your so do you have three 100K accounts, right?
Man, there was an issue with one of my accounts. It was like that one time when it was a holiday last month. So
Oh,
they're like I was mentioning today, like during a holiday, you can't trade when it's over 4 hours when the
yeah.
market's closed. So that one's under review right now. Like one of my accounts, I don't know if I'm gonna get it back. If I don't, it's cool. I'll do another one. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty strict on that, bro. Like on those little rules. Like if you
Yeah.
pass the daily loss, they're strict on that. They're not gonna give you any second chances. If you pass the month, the month loss, they're not gonna give you any chances. Even though like I've been trading with them for a long time, they're still pretty strict on it. They don't care because you're messing with their money when you do stuff like that.
Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand where they're coming from, and I'm not
Yeah.
mad about it because I already made they already paid me more than than I would ever expected to get paid from them. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all part of the business. I understand the business. So if it was me loaning someone money, I'd be mad too if they're not following my rules.
Yeah. No, of
Oh,
course.
so it
Definitely.
makes sense. A lot of people get upset about that. They get upset about FTMO taking away their accounts for like hitting the daily loss, but like they don't even think about, what if you were giving someone 100K and they just wanted to do whatever they wanted with that money and they didn't follow any of your rules? Like, wouldn't you be mad too? So,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
understand. But yeah, right now I got two. Um, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with that third one. I might just start a new challenge and then, just, so be it. Because uh, it's like I'm losing another stream of income by not having a third account.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
get it, bro. Definitely. Are you in any trades right now?
I'm still in this Euro odd right here. So
Yeah. I
we
gotta
just
close
we
that
did
up.
yeah, I think that's the only one I got active right now. I was looking for a US 30 trade, but I don't see anything yet. I got an alert set for when this comes down and touches
Oh,
the pivot. So when it touches the pivot, it's going to give me an alert, and then I'm just going to check if it rejects off the structure,
yeah.
and then if it does, then I'll take that trade.
Yeah.
But
That'd be.
other than that, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm not trying to rush anything because it's a holiday. So
Well.
uh,
Yeah.
I mean, technically the holiday's over, but the U.S. market hasn't opened yet for the week, so it's
There's
just
like
slow.
yeah. There's like a ton of Fed news this week, isn't there? Too.
I think so. Let me check real quick. So we got not tomorrow's cool. But we got FOMC, the Fed news on Wednesday. This is like their monthly meeting. So they got that. And then we got their core retail sales. We got a couple
Okay.
things this week. But it's all good. Like now that we scalp, I don't really care about the news anymore, bro, because the thing is like our scalps close out within a few minutes anyway, so it doesn't
Right.
really affect the news. This only comes into play when you're trading like intraday, bro, because like you could be
Right.
holding a trade from like 6 a.m. and then hits 11 and you're like, damn, FOMC is about to come. Like, what am I gonna do? So that's the only time where it really like comes into play. But now that we're scalping, we get in and out of these trades so quickly where it doesn't really matter as often.
Okay. Yeah.
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 But
No,
it's all
I like it better than the daily entries, to be honest.
Yeah, same here, because what I hate about the daily entries, bro, is like it gets like so close to TP1, bro. You're like 700 pips in profit, and then
Yeah.
you don't move the TP in profit because you're like, all right, you want to hit at least TP1, and then it
Yeah.
reverses on you and goes straight to stop loss. And I'm like, man,
Man.
I just threw away all that profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cool thing with the scalps is that it happens so quickly where you like, obviously you'll make money. Like you'll know real quick if you lose or you win. And then just due to the high win rate, it doesn't really matter because you're going to make it back anyways.
Exactly. And then like you could just close it out, move on to the next one, and like you're like perfect on your risk management. You're not over leveraging, and you're like getting wins like in a fair short amount of time. So
Exactly, bro. I agree with you 100%. So that's why like now I'm just focused on scalping. Like primarily before I was a scalper anyways. This is how I used to normally trade. The only reason I moved to the intraday was because I didn't want to be on the computer all day. Like I was kind of tired of being on the screen all day.
right.
But I just came to my senses. I was like, bro, you're not an intraday trader, bro. You're a scalper. So just go back to what you're good at doing. And then that's been it for the past 2 months now. And just with how the way the market's moving now, it's a scalping market. Like if you've seen how the market's been moving for US, not just US 30, but the entire market, it's been
Yeah.
kind of choppy. So,
Yeah.
normally it's like this. It's moving pretty smooth, like all throughout like before this year. So if you go back to like November, October, it was actually moving pretty smooth. Like right here in December, you catch like these smooth moves right here because they just keep, you know, they just keep trending all throughout the month. But you go here to February and you're like, damn, it's just choppy, bro. It goes up, it comes back down, and it's not really that smooth. So I think right now it's a good time to scalp uh, rather than taking these intraday trades. But I'm still going to call it intraday trades. So I still take the intraday trades too, but I just take a smaller lot size. So I'll take a Forex trade like this right here.
Okay.
I think I took like normally I would take like a standard lot or something like that. Now I only take like half a lot. I'll take like a 0.50.
Oh wow.
And then I'll just let it run. I'll set and forget. You know, I'm not going to go and be too focused on it. Or what I do sometimes is so like say right here we're in the sell right for euro odd. I'll go on the 10-minute and I'll actually scalp within there too.
Okay.
So I'll pull up like euro odd and I'll just scalp within it right there. So whenever I see some scalps, like there's a bunch here, bro. If you just like look at this here and you just follow through, you could do the same thing here too. Like instead of taking the big moves for Forex, you can just, if we have a sell, just look for the sell scalps. Yeah. And then you can just take them. Or like what some people do is they don't even follow the actual, they don't follow the zones. They just catch off the pivot rejections. So like, I mean, obviously if you follow the strategy properly, you still have a couple wins right here. Like you'd have this green candle right here. You could have taken that for like a little scalp right there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously go for like a quick 10 pips or so, just a quick scalp. And then there's a bunch of other entries here too. Like there's a couple right here, this red one right here as well next to it. You could have taken that as well. It's like 20 pips right there if you want to take two trades right there. There's one right there, one right there. And you can just keep stacking these on top of that one. I mean, if that's what you wanted to do. Some people don't even follow the requirements. So they just wait for the rejections off the pivots. Like right here, this green one, they take a trade right there, take a trade right there, take a trade right here. And they just keep taking trades.
So when you, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So for US 30, when you're taking like, when you stack positions and you're entering into like, let's say 2 scalps or more at a time, I haven't really usually seen you enter more than 2 at a time, but, or actually, yeah, if you're in the daily position, like I guess you can count that as 3. But for like the scalp positions, when you stack them and you enter into 2, do you use standard lots as well?
Yeah, so I use a standard lot for both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because in reality, it's like you think about it, you add it up, it's only 1,000. Like you're like if you say if you lost both of those trades, you're only losing about 1,000. Your max loss for the day is 5,000. So you're still like well below it. And the way that I calculated it too is because for the daily entry, you know, normally you'd be losing 2,250 anyways. So you think about it, like a stack, like 2 stacks of a scalp is only $1,000. So it's not, you're still below the daily entry if you didn't take the daily entry.
I see what you're saying. You're not usually going to take that many losses back to back.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm really selective with my stacking. Like I do like, there's a couple trades where I stack them and then I'll close them out early. So if I'm stacking them, that's where I'm a little more careful. Like if I go into profit, so say if I'm stacking 2 trades and I go into profit like 300, $400, right? I'm getting close to a full TP. I'm going to close those early. I'm just going to close them out because it's more risky if you're holding on to 2 and it ends up reversing on you, right? Or I'll move my stop loss and profit. That's like something I'll do as well.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like with stacking, that's not something that I really recommend unless you're like, you got to know what you're doing. Like you can't just like be playing around with it, right? Because it moves too fast. Because if you take your eye off it and it ends up reversing on you, you didn't move your stop loss and profit, it could turn bad like real quick.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely just working on doing this full time anyways. And like before I wouldn't do it at all, but I'm getting more comfortable with stacking them and like I'm like always watching it anyways. So sometimes I forget. That's one thing that I'm like staying on top of more now lately is even at least like once it's in profit, like a decent amount, just so it doesn't reverse or something, like at least set a stop loss a little bit above entry. That way if I close out, at least I'm not break even. I made at least a little bit, you know?
Exactly. And if you plan on like if you know you're gonna stack, just lower the lot size. You don't have to use the standard just to even it out, right? Because like because I think the max lot size that I'll have open at once would be 3 lots. That's it. Once it gets to 3 lots, I'm not taking anymore. So I'll stack like 3 max. But if you go past that, you're really pushing the risk because once you get 3 lots, that's already 1,500. If you go higher than that, you're already going up to 2,000 risk. And you know, if all those trades lose, or like if you make a mistake, then things can end up like real bad for your account.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you're in profit, like overall though, it wouldn't really be as bad though, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And like I mentioned before, like if you know what you're doing, you're gonna know if it's gonna hit or not. Like for example, right here, like these are two stacks right here. The reason why these stacks look so good is because so if I hide everything, like look how good the trend is, right? This thing's
Yeah.
spread out nice. It's spread out nice. They're all angling up. There's a lot of space in between. When that happens, you can see how nice it keeps pushing up. It's kind of like a staircase. Like what happens is price will come up, it'll test the little pivot right here. It'll come up higher, test the pivot right there, come up higher, test the pivot. And it's just a staircase where it just keeps going higher and higher. And it's the same situation right here. Like price was it stacked up right here, came down, tested it, stacked up over here, came down, tested it, and just keeps going, higher and higher as it continues to push up. And it's the same thing, it just keeps stacking higher and higher.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, for me, it's easy to see because I've seen this pattern like, 100 times already, like 1,000 times probably. And I know when it's going to happen. Like I know I can see when it starts to spread out like this, it's going to shoot up.
Yeah.
So for that, I would stack it. One mistake is when you try to stack it where it's like this, it doesn't look good at all right here. Like you can see that pattern that I was showing you, right? Kind of like comes back, tests it right there, comes back. It doesn't necessarily test it right here because you can see this green candle kind of comes below over here. It's not like pushing higher and higher as it goes.
Yeah. No.
So,
That's
yeah.
kind of like a little consolidation a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people don't notice that. And that's why a lot of people get confused with the whole stacking thing. That's why I don't recommend anyone stacks. I only recommend people stack if they actually know what they're doing. Because right here, it's easier. You can see that it establishes higher lows, right? So we got the low here, then we got the higher low, then we got the higher low, higher low, higher low. This keeps going higher and higher.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you got all the wicks too.
Exactly. And then when it's consolidating like this right here, you got the low, we got the higher low. There's no higher low right here, it just comes back down. And that's how you can tell that it's not really stacking from that point, or it's not stackable.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. For sure, bro. Yeah, okay. So yeah, man, I was actually thinking about paying for the challenge so I could start it up this week.
Yeah, man. I mean, what I recommend is just do when you're ready, bro. Like if you don't force it, because a lot of people like to force it and they're not ready for it yet. I mean, for you already know how to trade and stuff. You've been doing this for a cool minute, but a lot of people like there's some people that join K2 and they don't even know how to trade yet and they want to go straight to FTMO and I'm like, no, I don't do it yet. And then they do it and then they lose and then they're like, man, I should have never done it. And I'm like, yeah, exactly.
They're mad.
And they're mad. And it's like, I told you not to do it unless you're really, if you're like 100%, you got to be 100% with FTMO, dude, because FTMO, they don't forgive anybody, bro. Like if you make a mistake, they're going to kick you out. That's it, So unless you're like, I mean, you sound like you're ready for it. If you're ready for it, then do it. But if not, then hold off on it. Because I know, money's kind of tight for you, like you mentioned, like you don't want to just throw away $600.
Yeah.
But if you're confident, then might as well do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking, because I was thinking like if I don't do it this week, like I got my next bills coming up. Like, I don't have any for the rest of the month, but as soon as next month comes in, I'm gonna have to wait until I pay for those bills after I go to work so that I can pay for the challenge again. It'll be like towards the end of next month because I'm like kind of living just check to check right now, so it's kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, it's tough, bro. I was on that grind for the longest time. Like I was like that actually like last year and the year before that, bro. It was crazy. But like I mentioned, like FTMO, dude, that should change everything for me. Like once I did FTMO, it was like, man, that thing opened up so many doors for me. And then now it's like it's easy because I'm just applying the same strategy and I'm applying it on all my accounts. And it's just no risk, because if I lose, it's like, all right, whatever. It's not my money. And then yeah, pretty much, if I win, it's like, all right, cool. It's cool that I won off that.
Yeah. I mean, the profits you guys made from the beginning of the year, like this year alone already, that's outrageous. I was just like, kind of like, man, I wish I could have started the challenge. Like, so I wouldn't have been funded yet unless I would have passed. Well, actually, a lot of people have already passed it this year, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like every time I see the chat, it's like, there's always like a person passing it every day, or they're passing the challenge, or they're passing the verification. And it's just, now, honestly, I think it's kind of crazy how so many people pass it. like right away. Because I remember when we first did FTMO, a lot of people were they're nervous, or a lot of people would just fail it like so many times. And I'm like, damn, like how does this even happen? And all of a sudden everyone's just passing it. You know, maybe it's just a different type of people, because maybe the people in K2 before just weren't on top of it, but now everyone's on top of it. Everyone's just killing it every single day.
For real. Do you remember what was the first thing you got, or like what the first thing you did was after you found out you passed your FTMO? I'm pretty sure you were like juiced about that.
Bro, I bought my Tesla, bro.
Oh,
That's what I did, yeah. Because I bought my Tesla in July, so I started FTMO in like May, passed my FTMO in like June, and I was like, man, this shit's easy, bro. I was like, this shit's easy. So like when that happened, I was like, well, I was like, I didn't have the money for the Tesla. I had the money, but I didn't have the money to like really pay for it. You know, like I was still gonna be struggling. And then after I got the car, it just, dude, that thing just it just pushed me to a next level. It was like, all right, I'm treating this FTMO like a business. That's when I stacked the second account, I think in like late July or the month after that, maybe August. And then I had two FTMOs, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm making like, you know, each daily entry, I was making like 2,000 or like close to 2,000, like about 1,000 to 2,000. And then times two accounts, I was like, all right, cool. I just need to have two US 30 wins and I could pay off this car note, like, you know, my monthly payment like that. And then from there, it was just repetition, bro. Same thing day after day. And it was like, man, like, yeah, bro, like it's crazy how like how things play out, bro. Cause I was driving a shitty ass Toyota Yaris like 2 years ago. And then I got better at trading, and I bought me a Lexus the year after. And then the year after that, I got my Tesla. It was like levels to it, bro. It's crazy.
nice.
Like
Nice.
there's so many levels to it. And I didn't know that this was possible until like I actually started buying things, you know, because I was like, this is stuff that I can never, like, I never thought I'd be able to buy a Tesla, bro. Like, even though I was an attorney before, I was like, I got all this other shit to pay for it. There's no way I'm gonna be able to buy Tesla until I'm like, you know, 40 or like 50 or something. And then I'm like, boom, FTMO comes around the corner, past the FTMO, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I deserve this. So I want to go buy my Tesla that same month.
Hell yeah.
And
So how old are you now, bro?
huh?
How old are you now?
I just turned 30. So I turned 30 last October.
Oh, okay. Nice, bro. Nice. Okay. How's that Profit Blue chrome wrap?
Bro, I think it's nice, man. I'm gonna get it redone to a brighter blue, bro. I need to get something louder. so
Nice.
I got that dark blue. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think I still got pictures here. Yeah, I got that dark blue, but I kind of want to get something even louder, bro. Like I
Shoot,
want to
when you
get
got the
something.
money, bro, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's kind of like, yeah, bro. Like this blue is cool. It's cool. It's like it's pretty nice,
Yeah.
but like I want something louder, bro. I want something that like where it's bright blue.
Yep.
So, and this shit was expensive. It's probably I never spent money on a car like this before, but bro, this shit was expensive. It was like I think like 6, 7 G's just for the wrap, bro. And
Damn.
the car's already 130K, bro. I already paid 130K for this car, and I paid another extra 7, 6, 7K for just the wrap. So it's like, you know, if I'm able to blow money like that off something, you know, it just gives me goals. Like for me, before it was like me getting out of debt. And then now that I'm so consistent with my trading, it's like, dude, it's just, I gotta have a goal. Cause like, if I don't have a goal, I'm not going to work hard at this trading stuff, you know?
Right.
So like every day I have like a new goal. Like, you know, my next goal, I want to get a McLaren. It's like, all right, I got to make
Right.
this much money this year to go get that next car. So
That's
I
crazy.
mean that's just really how it is, bro. Like I never thought I'd be able to afford things like this, and it's just man, I don't know. Life's crazy, but it's crazy how life plays out. Because I never thought I'd be in this position like ever, but here I am.
Yeah, no, that's dope, bro. Definitely, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get there soon, man. The McLarens are dope. Those
Yeah,
go
for
crazy.
sure. Yeah, like I don't know if you know Spencer in the group. He's another guy in the group. He's trying to get a Tesla right now too. Him, there's another guy, Kyle. Like I told him the same story that I went through, and they're working on the same goals as well. You know, they have goals to meet, and then they just know how much money they got to make per month. Like for example, I was like, okay, if I want to buy a Tesla, I was like, that shit's like 130K. I was like, if I want to get that, I got to buy that by 12. So if I want to pay for it within a year, I was like, all right, I got to make about like this much money a month if I want to pay over in a year. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna pay for that in a year. So I just kept doing like different math things. You know, I divided by whatever how long I wanted to pay. I was like, all right, 2 years, 24 months. I was like, all right, it's gonna make 5 G's a month. So that became my goal for
That's
trading.
only 5% with 100K.
Exactly, bro. And then when you have like 3 accounts, it just multiplies.
5% equals 15K. Nice.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's my advice to you too, bro. Like don't always have a goal. Like you don't have to be into materialistic shit, but it's like you just gotta have a goal for something to reach, so that you know how much money you got to make. Because
Yeah.
in reality, dude, that there's really no ceiling. Like a lot of people like work these like normal jobs, like they're 9 to 5s, and they're like, all right, this is my paycheck, this is how much I make. But with trading, it's like it's unlimited, bro. Like literally, you can make as much money as you want as long as you focus on it and you actually keep grinding.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I want to do too a little bit, bro, because I got a lot of people ever since I started doing this, like ever since I started getting better and stuff, because I post some of my profits and stuff on like Snapchat and things like that. I don't really use any other social media right now,
Yeah.
but sometimes people hit me up like, man, what are you doing? Like, what is this? How do you do this? And then like they want to learn, and I'm like, hey, that's cool, because like sometimes like some of these people, like I've had multiple different jobs, so like when I know where they're working at, like I kind of know how much money you're making. So
Hmm.
I'm like, man, like I'm if this is working, or like if I at least see that this is gonna work, like one of these days, like just like it's working for everybody else in the group, I'm like, and I could help somebody do that too, like that like that'd be cool. Like, and I want to do the same thing, because like like my brother, well, I don't know, he's 18, but like I could like move out or whatever, and like I don't got to worry about nothing if he's doing this, and he can take care of the bills or whatever. So
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the same way that I took on this like whole K2 thing as well. Cause like I was trading for the longest by myself. And I was like I want to get back to people that want to learn too. Cause like, bro, when I first started trading, I had no money. So I couldn't pay for no course, couldn't pay for no mentorship, none of that. So I learned everything on my own. I went on Google, went on YouTube every single day, and I figured all this out on my own. So that's why I created K2, because I wanted to go back and teach people and just give back. Because in reality, dude, like this trading should change my life, bro. Like a lot of people don't realize that it could really change your life. Like a lot of people talk about it, but they don't really be about it. They're like, oh yeah, trading changed my life, but they don't really they don't really have anything to show for it. But for like me, it's like, dude, I came from nothing, and then I started trading, and then here I am, and here to give back every day pretty much. That's why I go on those live sessions.
yeah.
It's like people always ask me, they're like, why do you go on these live sessions and you don't charge anybody? Because I just go on YouTube and I'm like, bro, it's just me trying to help people. I'm not really trying to make anything off people. I'm really just trying to, spread the knowledge. Because if you look online, bro, there's a lot of bad trading knowledge out there. Like,
Exactly.
like you can follow a lot of people and it's all about marketing, bro. People are marketing some BS all the time. And for me, I'm
Especially
just, yeah, exactly. And for me, it's just I'm just trading, bro. I just go on here, I trade live, I give analysis. You don't see me out here like sign up for K2, sign up for this, sign up for that. It's like if it's available if you want it, but I'm not gonna be like, here, you gotta sign up or you're not gonna get any help from me.
exactly. Yeah, that's how some people are, bro. On like Instagram, like people have hit me up before, and I'm just like, dude, like, leave me alone, bro. Like you're just trying to
Yeah,
sell me a dream. Like you're not even being transparent. Like, and you trying to charge me a bunch of money to teach me how to trade. Like, but I already know, like, you're only teaching. Like you're not even. You don't even have the intentions to actually know that I'm gonna learn. Like you're only gonna teach me so much, and like, yeah, you're asking me to like pay you money. Like get off me, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's
no, I feel you, bro. Well, I mean, that's how the trading space is, dude. There's a lot of scammers in this trading space. There's a
yeah,
lot of people that just try to they resell stuff that they learned from somewhere else. Like they go to another course, they learn something, and they just try to resell it as their own thing. And there's no originality there. That's why for me, I stick to K2. Like whenever people tell me to analyze things, like they're like, oh, look at these patterns or look at this Fibonacci. I'm like, bro, I don't use any of that stuff. I use K2 because this is what I use and this is what works.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't even know how long we've been on here already, bro. But I want to finish checking out these videos, man. I just want to like what I'm saying, like really just get into it. And actually, I've also been reading that book, that tax book that you sent me, trying to get
Oh
into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely, bro. Like once you start to make a lot of money trading, I could probably show you try little things here and there, bro, to get some stuff
okay,
to,
okay, okay.
keep protect your asset protection, bro. That's kind of why I got the Tesla too. It all fell in within my tax plan, so
Nice.
it worked out, bro. It worked out for me. It worked
Yeah,
out for me. It's gonna work out for you, bro. You
heck
know.
yeah. Yeah, nah, I see it. I see it. Okay. Cool, man. Nah, yeah. Appreciate it, bro. You're always helping out and stuff, man. Always like helping everybody grow their accounts and like just learn. And like you said, bro, even for me, bro, this is life changing. And like I'm excited to pass this test, bro. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of working a job. So
Yeah, bro.
hopefully,
Yeah, once you get funded, bro, once you get that contract, and you're gonna feel so good, bro. I remember when I first got that contract, I was like, I was so hyped. I was
man,
like, man, I want to tell all my friends, but none of my friends knew about it. So I had to tell you guys in K2. So it was all good.
right?
It all worked out. But yeah, man, once you get that funding contract, dude, it's like a relief. It's a huge relief because you're all nervous during the whole time doing the challenge, doing the verification. But once you're funded, it's like, oh, it's crazy. It's a huge weight off your shoulders.
Yeah. Like everyone thinks you're crazy too until like you actually like get the funded account, like you're actually like bringing in dough. Like,
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's crazy. It's crazy because a lot of people think FTMO is like scamming, but I'm like, bro, I show people the payouts all the time, and it's like, all right, if you guys don't want to do it, then it's all good because I'm gonna keep doing it. But it doesn't make any difference for me.
for real,
Yeah.
for sure, man. You better just stay on the charts though.
I'm probably gonna. I think I got another meeting right now at 7:30, so I'm probably gonna hop on this next meeting, and then I'm probably gonna stay on the charts for a bit. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. But I'm probably gonna look for some scalp. I'm just waiting for these US 30 scalps, but I
Yeah.
don't think anything's gonna come anytime soon because there's not really anything on here. Actually, let me analyze something real quick. There's someone here in the chat. Let's see, it's just Super Espresso. He wants me to take a look at GJ real quick.
Okay.
Let me just analyze it real quick. Yeah, do you ever trade GJ? GJ is like one trade, but it's like one pair that I'm thinking about focusing more on because I've seen a lot of people trade GJ and they make a lot of profit off it.
Yeah, I've actually been seeing that too lately. But I used to trade that, but I don't. No, I don't really. I like the indices a lot better than the currencies.
Oh, 100%. Me too, bro. Like, man, the main thing that I wish was better with the indices is that if they had a broker that was connected to TradingView, bro. Because I trade Forex on here and it's nice, it's smooth. It's not that difficult to trade on here. It's just going between MT4 and TradingView is kind of annoying. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, for me, I just try to focus on US 30. That's my baby, bro. I love trading US 30, man, because
Yeah.
it pays out the most. I mean, in my perspective, I feel like it pays out the most, and then it also moves fast, bro. Because you already know if you're gonna win or you're gonna lose that trade
Yeah.
as long as long as you do it properly. But yeah, Super Espresso. I don't know if Super Espresso is here. See Super Espresso. So I'm looking at GJ right here. I'm trying the momentum indicator. I think this is going to be bullish right here. We have the rejection off this structure down here. And then, oh no, sorry, not that. We got that rejection off that structure right there. We got the buy signal right here. Got the breaking close patch structure right here. Man, this is a trade I wish I took, bro. Because I did see this on the 14th yesterday. And I didn't take it because I was like, damn, this looks like a risky trade, but this is like a cool like profit right there. 130 pips.
Probably way too late now though.
Yeah, it's way too late. It's probably gonna push up a little higher right here, but I think there's another zone that's like within this area. Let me check that out real quick. Yeah, it's actually right at the resistance right now. So something I would even want to mess with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally right there. But yeah, I mean, it would have been a good trade.
Yeah.
John Brett was this. Oh, sorry.
I might actually keep my eye on that one and write it back down. Enter it if it reverses.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually looking for some scalps off GJ. Go back to this one over here. I was looking for some scalps off it because I've seen a couple of people in the group that have been using it and they've been hitting, but I don't think there's any zones up here. Yeah, not right now. I mean, the last scalp would have been down here. These would have been smooth earlier today.
You always enter scalps on the 10-minute time frame?
Yeah, for the most part, because I try to get in and out pretty quick. I know some people use it on the 30 minutes, some people use it on the 15. For me, I just use it on the 10 because I find the 10 to give more opportunities, like for entries. But if we looked on the 15, I mean, it's the same thing. The 15 and the 10 they're not that much different. If you look at the zones on the 15 and the 10,
Yeah.
it's like in the same area. The only difference is that you're going to be taking on more risk because, you know, the 15-minute moves a little more than the 10.
Yeah.
And then same with the 30. It's the same situation.
See what you're saying. Yeah.
But the zones are in the same place. So it's not really a big difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that one actually. I actually wasn't even gonna trade until well, you know what? I'm actually just gonna set alerts for that when it gets to a certain price, like either above and higher. Now I could just enter it when the time is right. Cause I wasn't gonna trade anymore today. You know, it's kind of slow. Just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, the market is kind of slow. So I mean, for the most part, I'm chill. I'm going to be looking at the charts, but I'm for the most part be chilling. If I see something, yeah, I'll take it. But if I don't see anything, I'm not going to force anything.
Ooh, that US 30.
Yeah, you saw that drop right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, US 30 is bound to drop, but it's like it's been pushing up way too high. The only thing I look at right here is I look at the let me see if I can find that real quick. I look at the IG sentiment US 30. Because if there's too many people that are short, I don't think it's going to drop just yet. Actually, the IG sentiment, I don't know what's wrong with the IG sentiment. They haven't updated it like all week. I don't.
What? Crazy.
It's still 66%. But if I look here on this other website on MyFX book, yeah, MyFX book, or actually, it's not the right
You got
one.
your account links to you got your accounts linked to my FX book?
No, I don't. It's just I just use the what the hell? Oh, my bad. I was looking up the wrong thing. It was because you could just see here to see where everyone's trading. Like if there's more people short or long,
Yeah.
you can see where everybody's trading on here. Like for example, here for odd NTD, if there's a lot of people that are short, then I'm probably not gonna take any shorts. I'm gonna take some longs because
Right.
you know, obviously the market moves opposite US 30 sentiment. Oh, it's daily FX. All right, wrong website.
Okay.
Yeah, daily FX. So like right here, it shows that there's still 73% of people are short for the Dow 30 right here. So if this is still high, they're not going to drop it just yet because you know obviously they're not going to make money off you know dropping it down. They're going to make money when the people that are short keep getting stopped out.
Right.
So I think it's going to keep pushing up. I'm just going to be waiting for this to drop to the structure and the pivot, and then once it closes off there, then I'll take that you know that long position.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
right up.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Man, I still wish I would have held that trade from what is it, the when London not London, I'm sorry, when market first opened on Sunday.
Oh yeah, for the buy.
30. Yeah, because I entered into a buy like literally and like because I was out, you know, so I forgot about it. And I came back later. It was like 10:30 p.m. and it was like in profit. And I was just like, oh shoot, just like it worked.
Yeah, this thing shot up like 2,000 pips, bro, from open.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy. Because when the market opened, the sentiment was like 85%, bro. It was so many people that were short because people thought it was gonna drop because they were like, oh, it's at an all-time high, so everyone's like, oh, it's got to drop, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't blame them because if you look at this here, it looks like it should drop. Like it kept testing that area right there,
Right.
and then you know it looks like it was gonna drop. All of a sudden, the market opens, and that thing just skyrockets felt like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Smooth move up too.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good. You know, every time I see these trades, I'm like, it would have been nice if you would have taken it, but in reality, there's no way you could have predicted this would have happened.
Exactly. Doesn't really matter. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
Yeah, exactly. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I never think of it that way. I'm like, you know, I take responsibility for everything I miss. I take responsibility for everything that I take. It's like if I lose a trade, I'm like, that's my fault. If I win a trade, I'm like, all right, it's my fault.
Exactly.
And then you know, you just move on to the next one.
Exactly. Except for when it hits like stop loss by like 1 pip, then it's their fault.
Oh man, when that happens, I'm like, all right, that was the fucking market. That was their fault. Right? It's all part of the game, though. You know, a lot of people they get hung up on that, but they lose it by 1 pip, and then they just like, oh, this thing's rigged. And I'm like, what'd you expect, bro? Of course it's rigged.
Right.
It's like a casino, bro. You don't go to a casino and don't think it's rigged. The market is just like a big casino. It's just if you have an edge and you're playing like you're the casino, like AK, you're playing like, you know, the market makers, institutions, then you have an edge in the market. But a lot of people don't see it that way. They still try to trade the same way that everyone else is trading. And, you know, trading that way usually doesn't last very long because you can only get lucky so many times until the market turns against you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bro. I got to hop on this next meeting. So if you haven't, do you have any other questions before we log off?
Nah, bro. Nah, you got all my questions answered.
All right, cool. I'm just going to answer these questions out of the chat real quick. So John's asking, how much do you risk per trade? So John, I risk about 1%. You know, I trade a 100K account on FTMO, so I only trade a standard lot, which risks about $500 per trade. So if I'm doing 100K, oh no, wait, sorry, 500 divided by 100K. Yeah, bro, I'm only risking like 5%, or not 5, like less than half a percentage. So I'm risking like a 0.05%, less than 1%. And Biko's asking, how many K2 indicators should I have under the invite only scripts? So Biko, you should have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5. You don't have the backtest script and you don't have the alert script. These are just backtesting scripts. They're not meant for the public. So you got the K2 pivots, K2 SR, K2 SR V2, the K2 trend meter, and the K2 proprietary trading system, which is the momentum indicator. So that's pretty much it for that. But yeah, bro. So any other questions before we log off?
Nah, bro. That's cool, man. Yeah,
yep. Sure, man. Yeah, if you have any, you know, if you ever want to hop on again, bro, you know, you want to talk about FTMO, if you have any questions, just let me know, and then I'll make some time for you, bro. I know I'm pretty busy, but I'll make some time for you.
Yeah, cool, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for.
All right, man. Yeah, definitely, bro. It's good talking to you, man. So yeah, let me know. Keep me updated on your FTMO once you start. I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Got you, bro. Yep.
All right, man. Soon enough, bro. All right, I'll talk to you later.